afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Fuana urukama ka unkare ero urukamano. So let me just go through the ritual of reading what is here, and then I'll be able to speak to a few issues before we close. So first of all is to express my humility and the honor that I have to be able to address you today. One, to be able to recognize the vital role that each of you seated here and standing here today play in the prosperity of our nation. And we are here to officially launch there are two divisions, Asego and Asego East divisional offices. We started at Kabunde, and now we are here in Imbo. It's my privilege to shed light on the unyielding effort the national government is doing to elevate and enhance service delivery at the grassroots level. Now, Madam RC has spoken about the flood situation that we've experienced in Nyanza, particularly in the counties of Kisumu, Migori, and Homabay, where we are today. And we are faced with a number of similar challenges. But then in those challenges, there are numerous opportunities. Now, the county of Homabay, as well that the storms, of course, going by the very nature of the flash floods that we've experienced, with a number of families having been displaced, we've lost agricultural lands to flooding, and also the impact that it has had on the infrastructure, particularly our roads. As we speak today, over 7,800 households have been displaced. We have over 8,600 acres of agricultural farmland, and close to 2,000 livestock that have been affected by this adversity. And we want to extend our hearts and hands of affection to the households, particularly from Osodo, Kobala, Kobuya, Simbi, Wanchieng, Kochia, all the way to those in Lambwe Ward of Beta Sub-County. Now, your resilience amidst these challenges inspires all of us, and we will continue to do what it takes to support and stand with you. And as we speak today, we continue to receive support in the form of food and non-food items. As of yesterday, we received additional consignment, which are with the county commissioner, and the process of distribution will go on with focus and emphasis on the most affected. Now, your area MP has spoken about a number of very important things with regards to my role as the principal secretary in charge of internal security and national administration. And today we are here to officially open one of those offices that is meant to serve the people of Asego East Division. Now, our administrative landscapes call for a lot of attention, and I couldn't have explained it any better than the MP has done. That either the locations are very vast, making it very difficult for government services to be administered, and even for the government officers who are appointed as either chiefs, assistant chiefs, the ACCs, including the DCCs and the county commissioner, find it very difficult given that challenge. Now, over the years, we've been trying to address this challenge, and in the process, we've been able to gazette a number of administrative units. And for years, a number of those administrative units are yet to be operationalized despite having been gazetted. And also there is a need to gazette additional ones. And more specifically in this sub-county or in this constituency, today we are having 2 divisions. There is the need to get an extra 2 divisions. We are in that conversation with the county administration, the county commissioner, the team in national government administration, together with your area MP. And we are in that process of actualizing that. Additionally, out of what has been gazetted and rationalized and agreed, we have 5 locations and another 10 sub-locations. Of course, there is need and demand for extras, and we continue to have that conversation so that we fast track the operationalization and then gazette where necessary the additional ones following those conversations. So, Mheshimiwa, I want to confirm to these people that yes, we are not just operationalizing what has been gazetted, but then we are also gazetting the extra units because of the dire need and demand that exists. Now, if we look at this office that is behind me, and if you are told that we barely spent 10 million to put it up, I'm sure a number of us will not agree, but that is the reality. And this speaks to what is possible when we have a leadership in place that is concerned about delivery of services to the people, that is concerned about proper representation. And I want to commend the Honorable Kaluma, alongside the county commissioner and the team that has worked to ensure that we deliver not just this, but also the other one that we were in earlier in the morning. And I think it's a good time to even ask the other county commissioners and the other MPs to visit Homabay town constituency, so that they get to appreciate and understand that it's possible to do so much with limited resources. Having said that, we are in the festive season, and as the PS in charge of internal security, I would want to ask that as we celebrate and as we make merry with our families and friends, it is our collective responsibility that we ensure that we are doing that in a secure manner without making it difficult for everybody else to go about their business. Now, the safety and well-being of our citizens during this period is paramount, and we need to come together so that everyone feels secure. We have serious challenges in this county, and when I was having a conversation with the county commissioner, and I'm happy that part of the presentation that we had this afternoon has spoken to some of those challenges. One of the biggest issues we are having in this county is teen pregnancies. That our young girls are impregnated or they get pregnant way earlier than it's expected, way earlier than it's the norm. And this is something that as a community, if we allow to continue, we're not just making it hard for these administrators to discharge their responsibilities, but we are ruining the very lives of our young girls. Because once you have a pregnancy, you technically end up being a mother. You can imagine a child who is carrying another child or taking responsibility for another child. It means even the jobs that the elders spoke about that we need to give our youth, we'll end up with a situation where we have people who need to be employed or who need to work but do not have the capacity because they've not been able to finish or complete school. And even if they complete, then the level of dependency makes it difficult for them to achieve their best. There is the challenge of illicit brews and substance abuse. And the representative of the youth here asked that we need to have a police station, and the MCA talked about a police station. Interestingly, I think that is the only time I didn't hear most of us clap. Ko watch police, to yamada pamo koronge. How many agree that we need to have a police station in this place? Ere jomo yene wakel police station. Bas, Now, this is supposed to help us deal with intolerant behaviors, to deal with criminal elements, to deal with people who want to take advantage of our youth particularly for purposes of profiteering by selling illicit brews. And just recently, the county commissioner and the county security team were able to get one of the most notorious brewers around Rangwe. And when they went there, it was a full industry with everything. And the question in my mind was, how is it possible that this has been happening and all of us here, none of us has raised a finger? Maybe we raised, but probably nothing happened. So this was going on when our security officers were in office, our chiefs and assistant chiefs and village elders were in office, and even wananchi, the mothers, the fathers, the elders, and we know what that means to the community. So it is something that we are not going to relent on, and we will be very firm. So if you know anyone who is engaged in those activities, just tell them that they are already forewarned, and we will deal with them according to the provisions of the law. And there will be no excuse that the PS comes from this place, so we have special treatment. Now, there are a number of ongoing government projects in the county, and as an official in the national government, it's part of my responsibility to let you know what the national government is doing. Before we came here, we passed by the police station in Rodi, and the situation is that that station is in a very confined space. And the MP has accepted and has donated land where we are going to put up a modern police station in a much bigger space for better services to our people. And at Rodi, of course, today is a market day, and you can see the trouble that our women go through, particularly the women who are plying their trade, the mamambogas, and the situation is not acceptable. As we speak today, the process of building an ultra-modern market in Rodi, courtesy of the national government, is on. And this is going to not just bring dignity to our business men and women, but also make the place more manageable and more governable to improve the socioeconomic status of this county. Now, from the Affordable Housing Initiative, which the president himself launched in Homabay town, which is still in this constituency, it's at 65% completion. And out of that program, our young men and women have been able to get jobs. They work there every day. And it's going to be a game changer in terms of setting the pace on how to develop affordable houses across this country. There's the construction of the Mfangano Ring Road. There's the Rusinga Ring Road. There's Mbita Sindo Kiabuya Road. There's the rehabilitation of the Homabay Paya, which is already going on as we speak today. And that will be extended to Kindubei, Mbita, and on the other side, Asembo. Then there's the water supply projects, that is, there's the Yugis Water and Kindubei Water Supply and Sanitation Project, both which are at 99% complete. And the chair for Lake Victoria South Waterworks Agency is here to actually confirm. These are very key and critical government programs that are meant to address the inherent challenges that we faced as the people of Homabay for better provision of good sanitation. So we are having affordable housing, we are having water for domestic use, we are having roads that are being done to ensure that we are able to move with ease amongst many other projects. The pier is being constructed so that we can get back to water transport, because that would release a lot of pressure that is on our roads, but it will also enhance trade. Now, away from that is that we need to be careful as a people, in the sense that we have a responsibility not just to ourselves, but to the rest of the community. And that is why issues to do with education are very key. The government in the last 1 year has hired 56,000 teachers just to address the gap. And some of those teachers have been hired from this county. And Mheshimiwa gave cases in point. The issues around environment and the presentation here could have not been done in any better way, just to ensure that we take care of our environment. We need to plant trees. It's been raining. And we are not just planting trees. We need to plant trees that then will also help us address the issues on food insecurity. So as we plant the ordinary indigenous trees, we also need to plant the fruit trees. Lastly, is that I want to commend the work of officers within the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. And they are all here today just to be able to demonstrate to the people of Homabay that their single most responsibility is to serve wananchi. And I would want you to stand up so that again the people get to appreciate and clap for you. Wapam Negeuru. Thank you. You may be seated. And we want to encourage closer collaboration and closer working together between these officers that are here with us and the rest of us in the community. Thurwa kawuono oka dwana wach mokadho kanyo nikech wabiro e weche mag dongruok, and mar ariyo kaka jagoro mongirore e migawo mar arita kwe to gi dongruok mar gwenge. Wadwani wang'e ni to ere kaka wanyalo kelo lokruok e kit ngima jopiny. And yo achiel mar kelo dongruok kata kelo lokruok e kit ngima jopiny en timo gik machalo kaka mokelowa kawuono ni. Ni wayawo ofis ma jopiny bro yude ang'owa services. To wakele machiegni so that kar mondo ti kao siling 200 ichop godo Homabay or siling 300, you only need to spare a few minutes tiwuotho tibiro titimo ang'owa tiyudo services. Now, an mondo mi mano timre, nyaka wabed ni wan gi jotelo ma tich gi maduong' en tiyo ne jopiny. And that is why agone Mheshimiwa Kaluma erokamano. Ni gima chande ni to ere kaka jo Homabay Town constituency nyalo bedo gi chiefe moromo, nyalo bedo gi assistant chiefs moromo, nyalo bedo gi ute kar dak ma jotich sirikal bede moromo. Ere kaka nyithindo nyalo dhi sikul maonge nyathi ma ok olewe dhot ni ok dhi sikul. Ere kaka yawuotwa gi nyiwa mosedhi sikul mosomo nyalo yudo kaka gijitegemea. Ere kaka wamanyo negi tije mondo gitim. To mano e gima sirikal motelne gi Dr. William Ruto matiyone ng'iyo. Kanchu winjo kotimo interview kama ne jumorumo godo, to wacho gik mosetimo e higa achiel mosebedo ofis, kendo otemo lero gik modhi timo kaka saa dhi mbele. Maka kinde ochopo makoro wadhi e yiero, to wanyalo ng'iyo ni Mheshimiwa Kaluma nyicho wacho nodhi timo mage ma. To kigo kwano king'iyo tido ka notimo adieri. Ka chunye pod gombo mondo dogo bed mjumbe, tutimo nade? To bende ka chunye gombo dhi malo, to ung'iyo ni to be notiyo maber, watime nade kendo? That is how we are going to develop this country. And as a government, we are going to serve this country without any fear and also without any favoritism. We'll do what we are doing here today in every other part of the country so that people get to know a difference between what it means to lead and to govern. And Mathuruaka, Jomwayero must be held to account for Gikmaginda Monego Benegetimo, so that Onge Gimorone, we are passing the buck. So adwani wabed jomanyalo chako kao jotelo to wabedo godo piny to wagogo mbaka to wapenjoge ni magima to pokitimo nang'o. Eka wadhi loko thurwani. An aonge gi mang'eny mokadho kanyo. Jodong Kanyada, agonu erokamano maduong'. Jodong gweng' joma waluoro kabisa nikech gin ema gimiyo chiefwagi tiyo mayot. Mheshimiwa Kaluma ng'eyo ni nitie bill manie bunge sani mang'iyo ni to ere kaka wanyalo loso wach jodong gweng' ni sama gikonyowa tich mar rito gwenge to gimbe giyudo gimoro matin makonyogi. So Mheshimiwa, the same way we are doing with the community health promoters, we must do the same with the village elders who are very critical in supporting the work that all these officers do. Dong mano ber? Anana wuod Kanyada koro. Kama dhi gede ma koro siemna. Koro gai siemona kama dhi kete ang'owa, adhi kete kiruna. Maka biro to an koro anana ka, anindo ka piny oru kore ka ridora mwalo kanye. Kudeka ahinya takadha dhi kane ya game ka. So with those many remarks, I want to appreciate all of you, and I want to, in a special way, wish all of you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Nyasaye ogwedhu.